Hey everyone, what's going on? Thanks for tuning back into Relevant Jukebox, and today we're going to talk about this new R.A.P Ferreira album, Purple Moonlight Pages. So this is the latest album from producer and rapper Milo, who's now going under a new pseudonym R.A.P Ferreira. Milo's been one of the more consistent artists in the world of underground abstract hip-hop, with a couple great projects under his belt so far, like a Toothpaste Suburb, but also his double EP, What Happens at Day and What Happens at Night. And when he teams up with producer Kenny Siegel, it's like extra good, like on his album So the Flies Don't Come. This new album over here was produced by Jefferson Park Boys, who I'm actually not too familiar with, but the whole project was overseen by Milo and Kenny Siegel as well. And once again, Milo has dropped a really consistent album here, one of his better ones, I'd say. As a rapper, Milo doesn't really sound any different on here than on his past projects. His delivery is very specific and can come off sometimes like an open mic college poetry night hour, but he does have a lot of depth in his lyricism, which tends to be pretty introspective and free thinking, but also thought-provoking with a lot of the topics that he covers. So no matter what production he hops on, you are getting that kind of a flow, which can be a little one-dimensional, but I do enjoy it, because he also has a really good ear for production that works for him and enhances his delivery, and this album is no exception. It's kind of a slow start with the first 3 tracks, with not much sticking out until you get to the track Omens and Totems. The tone shifts pretty heavily on this cut, and it has one of the more interesting sounding beats on the project that builds upon itself in a pretty satisfying way. A majority of this album also has a huge jazzy influence hanging over it. Tracks like Laundry and Doldrums each have this piano-driven 90s flavored boom bap beat, and I like how each of these tracks do have the same building blocks that are used, but they feel a lot different from each other because of the moods of each of these tracks, which a majority of this album does stick in more of a somber, sad type mood like most of Milo's music does. I would be doing this review a disservice if I didn't mention the track An Idea is a Work of Art, which was a huge standout on here for me. There's a feature on this track from Mike Ladd, who's someone I am not familiar with, but I actually prefer his performance on the second half of this track comparative to Milo's in the first half. But the beat on this track is literally gold, like Mike references on his verse, and it's one of the best I've heard all year so far. The way that this album ends up, Milo did leave a lot of the big highlights towards the end, like with the tracks Mythical, Golden Sardine, and Row Talk, but I will say this was really consistent front to back. There is a somewhat slower start to the record, and in the middle it sort of drags a bit, but I don't really have much negative to say about this record. It was another really consistently good record from Milo, and I'm excited that he's back making music, at least under a different pseudonym, because it seems like this style of hip-hop is starting to kind of go away, or people just aren't as interested in it as they used to be. But with that being said, I'm feeling an 8 over here on Purple Moonlight Pages. Milo overall is really exclusive with his merchandise, and he doesn't really put it out too often, so there is no vinyl release of this just yet, but there might be a limited one coming down the line. There was a cassette that got put up on Yacht's website, but it was already sold out by the time I saw it. So I guess keep your eyes peeled on Milo's page to see if he puts any vinyls up. But if you listen to this new R.A.P Ferreira album, what did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thank you for watching. If you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you drop a like down below. And if you want more content from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Peace.